Good morning. I feel a little bit like folks that attend AA regularly must feel when they have to get up and announce to the group, I am an alcoholic. I'm not an alcoholic, but I am a PK, better known as preacher's kid for those of you who don't recognize that as initials. Yes, I grew up the daughter of a Presbyterian minister, and as many times in my life, while I've tried to run as far and as fast away from those initials as I possibly can, when you're asked to get up and speak to generation as part of our stewardship campaign, you really can't run away from your heritage. And it seems particularly appropriate that I be speaking on Reformation Sunday because my father, as Presbyterian minister, of course, believes strongly in the church reformed and always reforming, and also the priesthood of all believers, that we are all called to a special service to Christ wherever we may find ourselves. But growing up, as I said, I did not like the notion of being a PK. I felt like I was always either trying to live up to that standard or live down to that standard, because a lot of times PKs were rumored to be the worst kids in the church, So anyway, the other thing that always bothered me about being a PK was I never felt like I had a home church, because we moved around a lot in those days, and so I had many, many churches. And when people asked me, well, where did you grow up, and what was your home church? And I just always never could answer that question. I've been fortunate over the years to have found out the blessings of being a preacher's kid, and to realize that wherever I am home in the church. And I particularly feel like that I have found my home here at DCPC because I have been a member of this church longer than any other church in my growing up years and beyond. So 30 years now, which is hard for me to imagine. But the influence of my dad on my life was more than just being a PK, because he practiced his ministry of service to God and the church as long as he lived, literally till the day he died. And that's been an inspiration to me that at all stages of my life, I can continue to serve in some way. So I won't go on there because obviously I'm having trouble keeping my composure, but I did want to lift up another influence on my life apart from my parents, who were great influences on my journey of faith. But there is a saint of this church that was of particular importance in my journey of faith, and that person is Jean Jackson, whose life we just celebrated recently because she passed away during COVID. And Jean was a wonderful mentor to me, and in particular, she encouraged me after we took our first Disciple One class together to consider a ministry of teaching. I was a history major in college. I never wanted to teach, never got my teaching certificate, never felt like I had any gift at all for teaching, particularly teaching Bible. And in fact, in my freshman year at Queens, I got a waiver from my academic advisor not to take the required New and Old Testament, because that was one of my running away from God times, and I did not want to spend my time studying the New and Old Testament in college. So it seemed very ironic to me that when I got to DCPC and took a class, Disciple One, where you basically cover most of the whole Bible, and I took that class with Jean Jackson, that she recognized something in me that said, you have a gift for teaching. And after we took that class together, she kept encouraging me to come back and teach a disciple class, which I eventually did. And all these years later, I'm still teaching Bible at DCPC in one form or another, and most recently in the Wednesday morning Bible class. But it was Jean's gentle persistence, her faith in me, her seeing a gift in me that I could not see myself, that was an important part of bringing me to where I am in my faith journey today. And I am grateful for the lessons of my parents, the influence of people like Jean Jackson on my life, that I find myself knowing who I am and whose I am, and that I can claim for now and for always that DCPC is my home church. Thank you.